This podcast contains explicit content.
You are listening to Hardly Focused.
Let's begin the show by starting it.
Hey, welcome to Hardly Focused. Jack Hill, Mike Terraro. You can get us at hardlyfocused.com on your favorite podcast app, on YouTube. Just search all those fine places for Hardly Focused. We're going to jump right into this with the ongoing trial between actors Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Mike, you've been
trial of the century.
You've been paying attention to this.
Just slightly. I mean, it's not something that is like I've got to pay attention hardcore, but I've seen things.
It's a bit of a bizarre trial, I would say.
Yeah. You could say it's very Hollywood-esque.
What are your, right? I guess right off the bat, what are your thoughts on it?
I feel like it's important to pick a competent lawyer. And I feel like Amber Heard picked like the worst public defender ever as a prosecutor. I don't know. It's just,
Lionel Hutz.
Yeah.
Well, the dude's name. Have you seen the dude's name? You know his name?
I haven't even looked at his name. I just know that he likes to object.
Ben Rottenborn.
Probably not the best name, but okay. We're going to go with it.
Rottenborn.
At least be like Saul Goodman.
Yeah, right? I had no idea that started. I'm a little... this is what happens when I get rid of Facebook. Apparently, I'm blaming it on that. I've lost track of everything. I had no idea the Better Call Saul started. I guess the third episode has already aired or will be airing. So I need to catch up on that.
Where have you been, man?
With my head up my ass, apparently. I've been watching his trial. That's where I've been.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. That's what you care about.
So, yeah, one of the biggest and best takeaways so far from this trial
is get a jury trial whenever you want to sway public opinion.
Yes. And potentially save the man's career. I don't give a shit about her. Save the man's career. I mean, yeah, Johnny Depp's done a lot of stinkers in his time, including Amber Heard. But he's also done some very good films as well. He in fact did a fantastic film at one point. And then
Beasts?
Yes, and then he was cut from the cast and it was given to, I believe it went to Mads Mikkelsen.
Yes, it did. No shade on Mads right there.
That's another thing, if I may tangentialize quickly, because we've never done that before. I don't understand how they're trying to milk a franchise of 3 Fantastic Beast films.
4 or 5 or 6. Weren't they trying to get 6 in there?
Oh, that's right. I keep thinking it's trilogy. It's not a trilogy. But
it's a septology.
Yeah. I guess they're doing like what they do with the initial Harry Potter series.
Yeah.
But they'll probably, even though it was only supposed to be 7 and they split 7 into 2 parts, they'll do the same thing.
Which is understandable. You're like, hey, it's the last one. We don't want to lose anything. Yeah.
Sure.
But you know what the problem is? The problem is they did the Hobbit treatment.
Yeah.
Here's one book of information. Let's split it into a trilogy. No, guys. You spread it way too thin.
At least
spread it too thin.
At least The Hobbit had more than 12 pages.
True. I'm not going to say that, but like when you're stretching it like that, man, you're like, come on.
Yeah.
Just give us what we need and move on, you know?
See, the first one should have been Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The second one should have just been called, what was the second one? Like the Crimes of Grindelwald.
Mm-hmm.
It should have just been called that. Don't even put Fantastic Beasts in the top, because the people who care about this are the diehard Harry Potter fans. And if you say Grindelwald, yeah, they're gonna know who Grindelwald is. And then what's the one? It was Secrets of Dumbledore, I think, is the one.
Something like, yeah.
Call it that. Everyone knows. More people know who Dumbledore is than Grindelwald. You don't have to put Fantastic Beasts before. You're trying to start a.
They've got to, they've got to like franchise. This is a Fantastic Beast story. Like it's
yeah. So anyway, Johnny Depp could have been raking in a lot of money from that, and he's not. So maybe for better, maybe for worse. All we want to know is, why was there shit in the bed?
Who shit in the bed?
Who shit the bed? So there's audio from the trial about the shit in the bed. There was shit in the bed, and it was brought up at one point. I'm just gonna play it. Here's the audio of Johnny Depp.
Just gonna play it.
Here's the audio of Johnny Depp talking about the shit in the bed.
You know you did it, fess up! I did not poop the bed!
Whoa, rewind. What? I'm sorry, did you say something about pooping in a bed?
Yeah! There was some poop in our bed this morning.
Oh, Jesus.
And Charlie did it. That is bullshit! Charlie!
Guys, hold on a second, relax. Walk us through what happened.
Nice and slow. All right. Well, yesterday we wake up and there's a piece of poop right in the middle of me and Frank, okay?
Wait a minute, so this happened 2 nights in a row?
Yeah, man. So we throw the first piece of poop out because big deal, whatever, accidents happen, right? But then this morning, there's another piece of poop in the exact same spot. Now, Frank says it's not him. I say it's not me, but you bet your ass it's one of us.
This is a lot to handle. Now, the second poop, you held on to it, right?
Brought it along.
Oh, no.
Hey, when we said we can't predict the future, how could we possibly have seen something this awesome? Yeah, we're gonna have to clear our schedules.
What?
This is gonna require a lot of attention.
You're not going to go out with me tonight because these idiots found 2 poopies in a bed?
Yeah, Dee, but it's not the poop. It's the mystery behind the poop.
Aren't they on like season 18 or something like that?
Yeah, they're not, and there's no signs of slowing down, man.
I know. It's like they just keep like, hey, we're just gonna keep on getting paychecks, guys. All right, that works.
That show will end when they want it to end, not when FX wants it to end. And it's just as
I don't think FX wants it to end.
It's just as good as it was in 2005.
That's scary that you put that number out there and you're like, wow, that actually is how long it's been.
Yep. Danny DeVito pushing 80 and he's still doing this. Here's the real audio of Johnny. I promise this is the real audio of Johnny Depp on trial talking about
Mac and me now.
Poo in the bed. Here we go.
She brought up the situation of her fecal matter on the bed, and and she tried to blame it on the dogs. But
Why didn't you think it could have been the dogs?
The dogs they're teacup Yorkies. They weigh about 4 pounds each. And that was none of that did not come from a dog. It was a photograph of the bed, our bed. And on my side of the bed, was human fecal matter. I thought that some human being had actually dropped a grumpy, pardon the term, onto the bed.
A grumpy?
I haven't heard that term before.
I thought that some human being had actually dropped a grumpy.
Is that a term that you use with children?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Was about to ask you that. You have 2 small children. Do you have?
It's poop. It's poop. Do you need to go poop?
You called the shit poop.
Called the shit poop. Yeah.
Grumpy. That's a new one. I've never heard that before.
I have. I'll be honest. I have not heard that one either.
See,
I can infer its meaning, however, out of context. Like, hey, is that a grumpy? No idea what that is.
See, I keep thinking it's like a British colloquialism until I realized that this guy's not British.
He's not British. What are you talking about?
When this
Are you daft? Are you daft? You can call him not British. Oh, blimey.
When this trial started, I'm like, oh, that's right. Johnny Depp is British. And then I looked it up. I'm like, no, he's not. He's from the South.
No, I mean, technically speaking, Brits and Southerners can interchange really easily the way that they have that accent. It does work really well, apparently. But or at least from British to Southerners, according to the British actors. But
Yeah.
he he's an actor. He can go into voices.
Yeah. I mean, if you suffer from like brain damage or do you have a brain tumor and it's in
It's not a tumor.
Well, it's in like the, I think is it Broncus? There's a part of the brain that controls speech.
Yeah.
And there are people that like, they've either had cancer or surgery or an injury and it
affects their speech. Yeah. They get a weird accent going on.
Yeah. They effectively become British.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, did that happen to Johnny Depp, or is it just, is it all a ruse? Is it all an act? Is it all for the camera?
I think some of it's for the camera. Like in the way he's plodding along with his speech, like very slow and deliberate and very almost somnambulant.
Sure.
And I feel like that is an intentional thing. Because what it does is it completely defangs him. He's not answering loudly. He's not answering quickly. And those are the things that, like, if somebody's accusing you of being an abuser, like that's something that it would trigger that. You're like, okay, well, he's loud, he's abrasive, he's aggressive. And it's none of those things right now. So yes, because he's a very good actor, he can do it. But I mean, it's an intentional thing. It's purely intentional and it's working.
Yeah. I have thought about this recently. I just did it, the pregnant pause. And for me,
triplets.
Well, for me, that's picture the little buffering symbol. That's me trying to catch up. Because I took a long time to realize, I don't know if it was a stutter or what, but it's me trying to overcome the hump of that's me trying not to constantly lean on that. And then I found I'm like, well, the pregnant pause sort of helps, but now I'm trying to shorten the duration of such pauses. As you can see, I was able to form that entire sentence without stuttering or stammering or tripping over myself once.
That's because we didn't throw any proper names in there.
You know what? You know what?
Fecal matter.
Yep.
Fecal matter. Sorry, Cooper.
Well, yeah, I think it's also he was like, do I call it poop? Do I call it shit? Like, what do I? We'll call it fecal matter.
Human fecal matter.
But it's the way he's saying it.
Human fecal matter.
Human fecal matter.
The Mandalorian fecal matter. Sorry, the Mandarin fecal matter.
Mandalorian fecal matter. You know what? Have you ever seen a toilet or a bathroom in any Star Wars property?
No.
Does the Millennium Falcon have a bathroom?
You got to think so, unless they solved the world's poop problem.
I mean, come on, even on Cowboy Bebop, the Bebop had a bathroom. They locked Faye in it, but then on the Millennium Falcon, I mean, where's Chewbacca do his business?
He's got a litter box.
He's got a litter box. Brilliant. Ben, what is that his name? Ben, yeah, Ben Rottenborn is, as we were talking about a little while ago, an amazing lawyer. He's an amazing defense attorney.
Okay, if you say so.
As evidenced by this gem.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he'd sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Okay.
Next question.
Okay.
You're not giving me the answer. Like, I'm going to object to it.
I just love but you asked the question.
But you asked the question.
No, I did some research on that.
How often does somebody object to their own question?
Well, you can claim hearsay. This is what I saw on Reddit from a lawyer.
AMA.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was one of those. I'm a lawyer. This is what's happening. So I guess you can object and claim hearsay, even if you are the one who asked the question. But there's I guess like an art to it. There's a time when you say it, and there's a time when you do it. And this guy is not doing it. He's not doing it right.
I feel like not for nothing. Even if it's proper, like just the way it's coming out, you're like, dude. Just because you can say the lines doesn't mean you're an actor. Like just because you can, claim objection hearsay doesn't mean you should the way you are.
Yeah,
it just sounds bad.
I was just pulling it up. It's on. I found the Reddit post from a user AGTK has 11,000 upvotes and a lot of
That's a few.
Yeah.
That's a few.
Given a whole explanation about the legal definition of hearsay, when it's coming up, his belief of what the Rotten Board is trying to do, how he's trying to do it. And he says, I believe the attorney, quote, I believe the attorney expected the witness to say that the doctor told him how Depp was injured, but got ahead of himself and objected before really realizing what exactly he said. Hence the admonition from the judge. A better way to handle it, in my opinion, would be to take control of the witness again and force him to simply answer yes or no to the question of whether he had direct knowledge of how Depp's finger was injured. Regardless of whether it would have been correct to object to hearsay here, it certainly builds the impression that the jury, that the attorney is grasping and doesn't know what he's trying to do.
Exactly. And I don't know what movie it was from, like maybe Civil Action or it was a court movie, but the guy was like, never ask a question that you don't already know the answer to. And if you're not sure of what they're going to answer, you don't ask it in that manner, which is exactly what the guy said. Ask it as a yes or no. Don't ask an open-ended question if you're not prepared for an open-ended question.
I thought that was like, now I watch a lot of Law and Order. I thought that was like, I thought that was like Law 101.
Apparently it's Law 102 because he missed Law 101.
I totally forgot I had the dun in there. Nice. Proud of myself. Yeah, that you only ask yes or no questions, and that the whoever's on the stand can only answer yes or no.
Yeah, and if you ask an open-ended question, you know what they're going to say.
Yeah.
He sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Oh.
Next question.
Okay.
It was like such a shock, like, and you can hear the confusion in that voice right there. But you asked the question.
You're objecting to yourself.
I object to this whole line of questioning, but you're the one doing the questioning.
So it only makes sense.
Perjury. What? You're not on the stand.
So it only makes sense if it's like there's a King of the Hill episode when Dale Gribble's on trial, but he represents himself.
Oh,
but then he has to also testify. So he's bouncing back and forth between asking the questions and then answering them. And I think at one point he actually does object to himself. Yeah. When that happens too, the visual's great because Depp loses it. Everyone on Depp's side of the courtroom loses it. And even on Amber Heard's side, someone sitting next to Heard even starts laughing. Like even they know, like, oh, we're done. We've lost. We've already lost. Why are we here? Why are we doing this?
For a paycheck.
So let me play that real quick. Let me play this for you, and then I'll pose a question to you. This is audio of Amber Heard because, as Variety points out here, Depp and Heard would often record their arguments so that if there was a dispute about what someone had said, they could play it back. Those clips have become critical evidence in the case as attorneys on both sides took turns playing snippets that supported their client's version of events.
Which is before you play it, which is kind of fucking psycho. The fact that you record your arguments to see who's right, a little bit psycho. But go ahead.
Just in case you end up going to trial.
Just in case I have to take you to court. I'm recording this.
I mean, I have 13 years of audio between Kate and I from this podcast. I mean,
but that's literally from a podcast, not from your random conversations at the dinner table.
Sure.
We'll go with that.
Okay. Here's Amber Heard incriminating herself.
See what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence, and
Yes.
it's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
It doesn't matter for fair fight. My ass.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like she's the one that wanted it recorded first so that she could go back and prove herself right. And then I have that feeling.
There's that. And then
It could be Johnny Depp being like, oh, I needed to record this because she's psycho. But I have a feeling that she wanted the recordings.
Yeah, there's that. And then there's her just straight up admitting to hitting him. Like slapping him. I don't have the audio of that, but it's her just straight up saying, I hit you. Don't be such a bitch. What do you think? Whose side are you on, Mike?
Initially, when it first came out, I'm like, all right, you know what? There's too many guys in Hollywood. They're assholes or misogynistic assholes. I didn't know any backstory. I'm like, all right, I'm back and Heard on this one. Okay. Because as statistics bore out, when it's like 90% of abuse is male on female. So the majority right there says, all right, she's correct. And then very quickly after that, things started coming out where you start doubting things and you're like, I don't want to doubt it. I don't want to doubt it. I don't want to doubt. Nope. And then you're like, no. She's psycho. I'm as much as you can be, being like everybody's at fault in this one. I'm Team Depp.
Okay. I want to be Team Depp. I want to be. But the more I hear from the two of them,
they're both culpable.
Yes, they're both idiots.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no one wins in this one.
No, and that's the thing. Like no one wins, but the problem is the way she's going about it, like playing the victim. That's why I'm on Team Depp. I'm not saying that he's an angel.
Right.
However, she's the one making all these accusations when she's just as culpable. And so therefore I'm reverting to Team Depp. Not saying that he's an innocent choir boy, but like, come on, if you're both hitting each other and she's screaming and he's like, whoa. And then she's like, no, I never hit him at all. And then like, there's audio of you hitting, like, come on, bitch.
Now obviously domestic violence in any
never okay.
Correct. It's not okay. But I think when everything was coming out against Johnny Depp, it was around the time that the Me Too movement was happening.
Yes. And that's the other reason that everybody galvanized behind Heard initially. Cause like, this is right in Me Too. She's getting caught up in Me Too. And therefore she finally has the voice to speak out. And so everybody had that Me Too movement.
Sure. Yeah.
She's pure.
Right. And you saw a lot of careers come to grinding halts for various reasons.
Justifiably so for a lot of them.
I need to make sure I word this correctly.
Oh, hey, take as many pregnant pauses as you need right now.
I want to say it's not always the men. Women can be guilty of this.
Yes. And there's I don't want to say backlash, but more of a whiplash effect, which is very unfortunate that the very, very, very small amount of females that abuse the Me Too accusations, unfortunately, and not correct, not that it should be, but it gives men this idea that, well, it's a sense of overpowerment, I guess. I'm not sure the right word to say, but it gives them this like, oh, see, she's just another crazy woman, you know? No. You are the asshole. You're beating the shit out of this chick, buddy. You're an asshole. It's just the one in the blue moon is kind of like the Jussie Smollett situation, you know, like the one bad apple puts everything in doubt for everybody else when it shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with Amber Heard. She complained, pure victim, and it's putting this doubt into people's minds when it shouldn't, when all these other guys are just going to say, oh no, she's just being another Amber Heard.
Yeah.
She's shitting on my bed.
What the hell? Aziz Ansari, that dude.
Yep.
He got a lady tried to Me Too him, and that was, I think, one of the first instances of an accusation being thrown out, being immediately disproven, discounted. His side of it was, we went on one date and it wasn't a good date. And any attempts at trying to Me Too him, as far as I remember, failed.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that you've had it in general, regardless of gender. Is somebody famous? Is somebody unfamous? Are they trying to do this to gain infamy? Are they trying to do this to gain publicity? Are they trying to do this to gain money? And that's the one thing you've like, that cynical eye.
Yep.
You know, at least with this is even keel. You're both famous people.
There's now this might be one of the only like big cases of a Me Too instance where it was where it was a woman being accused. An actress named Frankie Shaw. She had a show on Showtime called Smilf. It was a very good show. It had Rosie O'Donnell. It had Margot Robbie. I mean, Samara Weaving, Connie Britton.
That's some names right there.
Yeah. I think Roseanne was actually supposed to play Frankie Shaw's mother on it, and then Roseanne made her own mistakes and was replaced with Rosie, of all people. Oh, it takes place in Boston too. It's supposed to take place in like South Boston. So everyone has a really, they're all trying to do the accent, and
that's honestly why it really got canceled, because when you're trying to do a Boston accent and you can't, just don't.
But
just don't.
The Frankie Shaw created it too, and she got Me Too'd. It was accused of going overboard in how she was directing sex scenes and scenes involving nudity, and it was enough that the show got canceled.
Yeah, that is and I wouldn't say slippery slope, because that's probably not the slope you want to be on when you're doing sex scenes. I'd say it's a precarious area when you are directing intimate scenes and you're not in a porno. Okay, you can be like, "Hey, stick her dick in her more. All right, give more thrusts. Hey, Fluffer, get over here. He's losing his edge." Like, all right, like, and even then, it's like, at least now in pornos, there's more oversight, if you will, with like almost like a porn union. But that being said, you can't just be you can't be like Werner Herzog. We are going to be painful, and no one's going to like this, and it's going to be real. I'm like, okay, all right, everything is pain and destruction.
Show me the baby.
Show me
You're all cowards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's not The Room, where people were like telling Tommy Wiseau, I'm like, dude, you're aiming for her belly button.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I did not hit a.
On back to Law and Order, but on Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Very early on, there's an episode. It's one of the first episodes to tackle rape in the instance of the female being the suspect, being the perpetrator, the
which
rapist.
A lot of people they can't wrap their heads around it.
Yeah.
Like, a woman can't rape a man.
That's the whole like thing of the episode too. It's the victim, the male, is afraid of like how that's going to affect his image, his reputation, and even he's having like he wants to press charges, but then he keeps backing out of it because he doesn't want to be known as like the male victim of a female rapist. And what I love about it too, it's a great instance of actors who were they had like a bit role on Law and Order and then went on to be a main character. The rapist was Casey Novak, The actress that plays Casey Novak, before she actually joined the show full time, she was on the stand. She was a rapist. She was putting things where they shouldn't be. She's a mess now. She's a complete fucking psychopath. Diane Neal. She's crazy. But there you go. That's what's going on with the trial. It's a mess. It seems like it's a wee bit of a shitty situation.
Fecal matter.
You're going to love that drop for a while, aren't you?
Human fecal matter.
It's not just him saying fecal matter. It's
Human fecal matter.
Johnny,
it's very breathy.
Johnny Depp, a bit grumpy, if you will.
I thought that some human being had actually dropped a grumpy.
Yeah, this one's going to be tough. It's not like what you can do with the local sports teams where you can try to bet on a winner. It's really, it can be really tough to see who comes out of this one the victor.
Well, we know Amber Heard is going to be ending up the victor. It's a question of, are they both going to end up just still being in the shitty situation they're in? I
guess not so much like who wins the trial, but like, does Johnny Depp get his career back? Does she stop getting cast in things?
I have a sneaking suspicion that she is, after this, going to be persona non grata. Because wasn't she supposedly, while she was on Aquaman, was she considered difficult to work with?
Yeah. There was already horror stories about her around that.
Exactly. So at this point, they're like, well, fuck this. I don't want to deal with that crazy. Like, if I want crazy, I'll go, get Gary Busey, okay? All right.
That's what I remember when they were filming Aquaman, and it was, I think, right before the film came out, when they were starting to do the pre-release press. Mm-hmm. Then this whole thing with her and Depp happens, and it's also around the time that he starts getting blacklisted, and people are saying, but wait, she's a maniac. This is on her. Boycott this film. And yet she's...
And then Jason Momoa's like, whoa, I got residuals on this. Don't boycott it.
Wait a minute. Wait, everybody. I'm married to Lisa Bonet. That is all. At the time, I believe they've since split up. But there you go. That's what's going on with that. It is new production episode.
Oh, really?
Not necessarily week, but I have a new production for the podcast, and here's one of them. And we will be back.
You are listening to Hardly Focused.
For some reason, in my cupboard, I have a lot of Fun Dip.
Fun Dip? Do you own a van? It's windowless? Why the fuck do you have that much Fun Dip?
I have an addiction.
What kind of addiction?
Fun one.
Hear more at hardlyfocused.com.